of the Sharon Gaulman Experience. How is my people doing today? Okay, so now we have the sound up. Can everybody hear me? I'm sorry for that. So, all right. So today I have two wonderful guests. We're going to talk about what is insurance and why is it important. We have Miss Hortense and Mr. Keith from Combined Insurance. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, Keith? Keith, you still can't hear me? I'm doing fine. All right. I had to turn that down a
Good
little
evening,
bit.
Sharon.
I'm just so excited because they are coming in here
I
and
hear you.
I'm telling you, I love, well, let me put it, I am a client, but the reason why I asked them to come on is because if you remember the pandemic, so much happened, okay? And by investing in yourself, you're able to keep your dignity and your pride, you know? And me having the insurance that I have with them, I was able to have my dignity. I was able to have my pride. I was able to heal while I was injured and not worried about how the bills are going to be paid. Oh, this. Because guess what? When you're worrying about healing, you don't heal. But when you're relaxed, stress free, you're able to heal much, much better. So we're going to turn it over to Miss Hortense. But first, you're going to tell us why, what is insurance and why is it important for people to have it?
Hi, good evening. Hi, Sharon. Thank you so much for having us. My
You're
name is Hortense Van Baumen, and I'm in the insurance industry for this is my 20th year, and I'm with this company now, Combined Insurance. This is my 11th year. In early childhood, but I ventured out into this industry actually by accident, and it's just I loved it because of the way it works to help people. So I'm a senior account executive with Combine. I'm in work in the New York area. Of course, I'm also licensed out of state as well, Florida, Texas, and other states. But my home state is New York, and I'm the what you call that? My background here is that with the company, I've done well with my clients. I'm the holder of two annual awards with the company, and like I said, I just love what I do. Helping people, making sure that when, not only do I register them, but just making sure that once I do that and they need me, I'm there. Customer service, building relationship is what I do.
Okay. And we're going to
And
throw you in here too, Mr. Keith. Tell us about yourself, Keith.
Actually been with the firm about 7 years. Can you hear
I
me,
can hear you. I
Sharon?
can hear you.
I've been with the firm about 7 years. Before that, I was actually a chef and massage therapist. And the reason why I transitioned to Combine point blank is because it helps people in their time and need. Lots of people, including myself, before I worked with the company, have no clue that supplemental benefits even exist. Really, my job is to really educate people that they have an option in their time of need. What that is our company actually helps people with different types of benefits in a plethora of different ways.
Okay.
So,
You're we
paid sick
we're
days,
sliding in and
life
out with you, but
insurance,
it's
hospital
okay.
and
Everybody's going to just get you at the last ending
cancer.
of it. All right. So, Miss
Just real
Hortense,
quick story.
you
The
want to
reason why
Yes,
dive
I
in?
ma'am.
really jumped to the company was
Do you want
because
to dive in
my
and discuss
whole family
which
was
type
in
of insurance
New York City
should people
firefighters
have?
during
Okay, so we provide benefits like
that. So my
accident and sickness. We have whole life insurance, of course. We have
grandfather
critical
was
illness,
they
cancer. We have
had one
disability,
policy was
which is
for
we call, of
critical care, and it pays you a
course, the
hundred thousand
accident
dollars if
only
you're diagnosed with
benefit
a
and a
medical.
cancer benefit.
And
Um,
I wish my family had
these
it.
benefits are geared
And
to
the
pay
stories
our policyholders,
that
not the
really helped me
doctor, not the
cut my
hospital, the policyholders.
role today
These
was
are
really
there
about
for,
my
I say
frustration as
insurance protects
uh,
widows and orphans. So just getting these benefits is, it gives you a peace of mind. If something happened, you don't have to worry. And like you mentioned earlier, Sharon, when they're not worried about money,
When they're not worried about money, what, honey?
when they're not worried about money, they heal faster. When if you're sick and you're worried, you're going to take longer to heal. I always say that.
Yes, 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 yes. So let's break down um, the personal insurance because Keith is going to talk to us on the business side of the aspect because combined
Right.
insurance, they work with individuals and yet they work with companies. All right. So
Right.
let's talk
Mhm.
about your whole life insurance. Can you tell us about that, please?
Okay, so whole life insurance is a benefit that it's the name says it all. It covers for your whole life. The features there are it accumulates in cash value after the third policy year. It starts to accumulate. Also, it has a waiver of premium if somebody's disabled and can't work. They waive the premium for that benefit while you're out of work, and the policy won't be lapsed because there's something called um, uh, oh my goodness, I'm looking for my word, but let me get back to that part. There's a premium that's set within the policy that pays for the policy.
That pays for the
You're not
policy.
you're not paying while you're sick, right?
Oh, okay.
It also have what's called an acceleration of death benefit. So if somebody is terminally ill and the doctors say, "Oh, you're not going to live for out the rest of this year," you can accelerate that death benefit tax free to take care of you while you're sick, and they will give you up to 50% of that money. And once, say, if the person passed away, then of course the policy will have the remainder for the burial, right?
Okay.
The policy, again, if somebody's a great feature that they have is that if somebody is really on disability and they don't say they go on disability up to age 65, let's
Mm-hmm.
from age 16 to age 65, there's a feature there that will pay up the policy, and then you'll have free insurance, right?
Wow.
That's a whole life benefit. Another, can you tell me if I'm missing anything out on that with the whole life?
Um,
Waive off premium, acceleration of death benefit, cash value. You could take a loan from yourself. You don't need a huge application to get a loan from your own policy, right,
mm-hmm.
Keith? And also, you could pay up in 20 years, right? After 20 years, if you don't want to pay another premium, you don't have to. If you don't take your premium out, the policy won't lapse and it's going to remain in force. If the
Okay.
person lived to be 120 years old, you start getting the money back.
What? Wow.
So there are some great features in a whole life benefit.
Okay, I gotta start taking my vitamins and eating my Wheaties because I like that 120. Now, Y'all don't do term life insurance?
Out of state, not in New York. We do out of state.
So
If there are
in
certain
out of
states
state.
that have term insurance, but not New York.
Okay. Would you advise anybody to get term life insurance?
Say that again.
Would you advise anybody to get term life insurance?
Term life, if they don't have the money to pay for whole life and they
Mm-hmm.
want to lock in their insurability, I would
Mm-hmm.
say you could take a term, but a term policy usually ends. And that's exactly that. It says it all. A term insurance will end,
Oh.
and the whole life covers for your whole life. The term insurance,
Uh-huh.
there's no cash value features in there, no accumulation. There is an acceleration of death benefit on a term policy, but the think about this: if somebody say 50 years old, you take a 20-year term, right?
Mm-hmm.
After when you're age 70, now the term policy ends. Now you probably have some medical issues. If you don't, if some people don't renew, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, when you renew it, the premium is now three times the price as when you first purchase it. As opposed to a whole life insurance, the benefit, the premium level remains the same. It doesn't increase. That's
Oh,
one thing
okay.
I left out. I forgot about that part.
Okay. Now why? No, 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 no. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Um, this thing is as you know, is not what I'm trying to do right now. All right. So that's about with term life. Now you said that you can take out money on your whole life insurance.
Yes, you could borrow from your own policy in a whole life insurance. Once the cash starts to accumulate, if you have a medical emergency or you have an emergency, you need the money, you could definitely take it out.
Um, okay. And would that affect my policy in any way if I
I'm
take it
sorry?
out? Would it affect my policy if I took out money from my
It
policy?
doesn't affect the policy itself. If,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, if you can pay back yourself if you want. If you don't, it's the policy, the face, because you're borrowing from the cash value, not the face
Okay.
amount of the policy. So, but when you're getting the payout, like when the beneficiary is getting the payout, it's going to be less that money that you took out.
Oh, okay. Now in New York State, what is the age limit that people cannot get insurance?
But for which
What
one? Remember,
for
okay.
whole
So to
life?
age for a
Mm-hmm.
whole life, you could go to up to age 85. You know
So
that's
I
going to be expensive because the older you are, the more you pay,
okay.
and the younger you are, the less you pay.
Mm-hmm.
For the supplemental part, the accident covers to age 75.
Mm-hmm.
The sickness cuts off at age 64. Cancer benefit cuts off at age 64. The critical illness cuts off at age 64, and the sickness benefit cuts off at age 64.
Okay.
I mean,
Now,
when I say cut off, that's a time to register, but your policy will continue. The
mm-hmm.
the sickness benefit continues to age 75, and the others until you use them,
Okay. Now,
try to
let's talk
discontinue.
let's talk about accidents, cause honey, I had somebody today call me and told me they were in a terrible car accident. They can't work. They're home. They can't do nothing. And the thing is, I told them about this, and they don't listen to me. So explain to people about the accident and sickness, please. Because, I mean, to me, when I injured myself, I was able to keep my pride and my dignity. I didn't have to worry
Mhm.
about a one shot deal from public assistance. I knew that I
Okay,
had
so
money coming in. Come on.
so the accident protector benefit has like 22 benefits there. It covers for hospitalization, major fracture, minor fracture. It covers ambulance to the emergency room. It pays travel benefit if you have to travel outside for treatment. You have follow-up visits. You have a physical therapy. You also have an accidental death benefit on that policy that covers on any public transport. We call it common carrier for up to 100,000, and then we have a 25,000 death benefit on there for any other accident that leads to death that's not in the air. You also have an annual health screening benefit. So every year, when a person does their annual screening, and annual screening is important, right? You get
Mm-hmm.
paid for that. The sickness benefit, once you have a sickness benefit, it covers only sickness. But there's when you have a sickness, it triggers a payment also on our sickness benefit. So take for instance, somebody would go to the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
For an accident, just walking into the emergency room. It could be a slip and fall. It could be a cut on the wrist, or or cooking and getting a cut. It's $300 just for going into the emergency room because it trigger a payment on the sickness, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you have to get some stitches, then that's when the money start to add up. Now, when you have those benefits and you also have the disability, and now the doctor tell you that you can't be at work, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be, and once the doctor puts you out of work, then your
Yes.
disability is gonna kick in. If it,
What
you
the?
could get a disability that has a 30-day elimination period, and after the 30 days, you could start submitting paperwork for your disability.
Okay, now at one point you did cut out, so I need for you to say that all over again, and I do apologize.
Okay, that's fine. What I was saying is that if somebody have an injury, it triggers
Mhm.
a payment on the sickness. Did you get that part?
Yes.
Okay, so I was giving an example, like let's say somebody go to the emergency room just for a slip and fall, or if it's a car accident, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
just going into the emergency room, you get paid $300 just for going to the ER and getting discharged the same day. Now it's a different story with somebody who's seriously injured and then is hospitalized, because then
Mm-hmm.
you have the hospitalization, the regular benefit, plus you have the ICU benefit. So that's a whole nother story.
We have
And
that
we see
inside.
that a lot during COVID when people were hospitalized and was
Hmm.
admitted to ICU.
Okay. All right. So that's what the sickness
Sickness and
um
the accident. Any
accident.
accident, any physical injuries, any sickness is covered.
Okay. Now let's talk about something that scares a lot of women. Cancer. Scares everybody. Let's talk about the cancer insurance.
The cancer?
Yes.
Okay. So the cancer benefit, we have three different tiers, right? We have standard, preferred, and choice. The standard benefit, upon, oh, and that's a good segue, because I just got a call today. One of my client was diagnosed with cancer, and just for the first diagnosis, her daughter told me that the company sent her a check for $3,000. That what we call a family standard benefit, and that's even before all the other stuff is added, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and she was hospitalized. So hospitalization, it could be 300 per day, it could be 450, or it could be 600. The
Oh,
younger you are, the less you pay. So I always tell the young people, take the higher rate, higher tier. We
mm-hmm.
have we pay for chemo and radiation in that one. We pay for just the medicate, just being in a hospital and taking the medication that the hospital gives you. It depends on which tier. It could pay you up to $50 per tablet that you swallow.
Mm-hmm.
It has a surgical feature on there as well. Whether you're inpatient or outpatient, they pay that surgical portion. You also, if you have to go for a second opinion out of your environment, you have to take a flight. You get up to $1,600. It's two ways, round trip, to go get a second opinion as well. So that
Okay.
again is another policy that's loaded with benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the best part about it is the best part. The bad part is getting cancer, but the best part is having the benefit that if you need it, it's there for you. I can tell you because I just lost my brother last July to
I'm
cancer.
sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry for the loss. Yes. Okay. And what other insurance? There's another one you have. You have
The critical illness, it
yes, the critical.
covers organs, right? So it could be any organ failure, any severe burns that is covered, and that payout is a up to 100,000, and it's a one and done, meaning that once it's paid out, that benefit cease. A
Oh,
heart attack, kidney failure, pulmonary embolism with lung, failure. Uh, um what else? It covers liver, any organ. Just put it that way. Any the critical
Oh,
illness covers that.
okay. All right. So,
Once
and
there's a hospitalization and a critical illness, once something is diagnosed and the person was hospitalized and is out, then the discharge papers and a little note from the attending physician goes in and we trigger a claim.
okay. So the best time to get your insurance is when you're younger,
When
and
you're when you're younger, it's great, but most young people think that they're nothing is going to happen to them. The professional, uh, I get people like my target market is a lot with nurses
hmm
because they understand because they care for sick people every day.
right.
So at their age, they just want to see you come in and then they want to sign up. But I'm trying to reach everybody else that thinks that it's not important. And, taught me more to just spread my wings and talk to more people. That's when I really started even the Zoom and all of that to just try to get people on because there were people that were admitted in the hospital that was asking me, can they get it now? Which of course they couldn't because they were already, sick and in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand that. Now, can we put our children um
definitely,
so
definitely.
we can get our babies and stuff
You could
policy
the as 11 days old they can start signing up their children for a life insurance, which I recommend, especially a whole life, because it grows
Mhm.
with the child. For
Okay.
myself, I put my all my kids have whole life insurance,
hmm
and the accident and sickness children. I always say they're growing pains. They're always getting hurt, especially in the summertime. You have more injuries with kids in the summertime than any other time of the year. So a fall in the park, a fractured arm, the parents have to stop. Their kids are covered under their policy, they're going to get paid so they don't feel so much bruise. If they don't have the sick day, they stop from work, they're still going to get paid because they have to take care of their child, our children.
So if my child gets hurt on the playground
Hmm.
and I can't work
Hmm.
because I got to take care of my child,
Hmm.
y'all send me a
You're
check.
gonna get paid for your child if your child is injured. You take your child to the emergency room, and I'm just telling you from experience because it happens. What's talking about.
hmm Wow. See, and a lot of parents don't even know that, you
Yeah.
know?
Children get
Um,
injured in school. They fall
yeah.
in school. They get bloody nose. They get bust up lips, and they have to be taken to emergency room. Some parents will call you. I'm on the way. I'm going to my child's school, or I'm going to meet my child at the emergency room. Sometimes in there are cases where the school have to go with the child to the emergency room. So no way. I said, if you tell me you have a child, I'm going to say that child. And
On
the
the
best part
accident.
is that they stay on until age 29. They age off at age 29 before their 30th birthday.
Uh-huh.
And unless they get married and they start their own families and then they want to
Keep,
open their own.
oh, so even if they're 29, they say, well, listen, I'll pay for it now myself.
Yeah, and especially when they're in college, they stay
Uh-huh.
on and when they can, wherever college campuses they're on, if something happens, they can.
They can,
And the best part too is that these benefits follow you out of state. So say you're in New York, you sign up in New York and you decide to move out of state, it goes with you.
oh, very good. Very, very, very
And
good.
if you get injured overseas on vacation, you could come back with your paperwork and get paid.
Okay. Now, that's if we go overseas and get hurt. We just got to come back with our paperwork and we'll get paid too. That's
Hmm.
what you said? All right. Now, we have somebody in the audience says they want to hear about the work insurance. They want to hear from Keith.
Go, Keith. I'm talking too much, Keith. Your turn.
Your
We didn't
turn,
touch
Keith.
on income protector, but go on with the work site.
Keith. Okay, we hear you.
I'm
Keith
hoping.
did not. We can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me? I'm hoping you
Yes, we
hear
can hear you
me.
now.
Awesome,
Keith,
awesome.
why don't you do this? Keith,
I'm
Keith,
the
Keith,
old Hortense
Keith,
and put my phone.
Keith, hold on, because you're coming in and out.
Okay.
So why don't you call me
Good
and
evening,
we can hear
everyone.
you over
Yes,
my.
just to piggyback.
Oh, okay, so I'm waiting for Keith. Keith is on the ball. Okay, Keith.
Can you hear me, Miss Sharon?
Yes, I can.
Much better, yeah. I was jonesing so bad to unmute and say something since you guys couldn't hear me at the moment.
All right. We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, no. Hortense brought up a lot of great points. Our benefits are designed to pay people if they get sick or hurt on or off the job, like she was mentioning. You have to ask yourself some very important questions. That's kind of the other half of these benefits is how many paid sick days do you have? Do you have money in place for a funeral, God forbid?
Mm-hmm.
Does cancer, heart attack run in your family? Do your medical benefits cover this? These are prevalent questions that people are asking themselves, especially even more nowadays after the pandemic. She handled the individual side of the business. We're the only company where you could get it through your bank account. We also do it through jobs. We do it through payroll, which is a huge, huge way to get the benefits as well. It's something where for business owners, they can offer to employees at a discounted rate. It covers pre-existing conditions. It's a lot more liberal with underwriting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good tool for business owners for hiring, retaining, protecting employees. It's a very cheap alternative to medical benefits as well. But it's just a feel-good product. I was mentioning before, my whole family was FDNY, and a lot of them had heart attacks and unfortunately cancer. And we weren't prepared for it. That's one of the reasons why I got in this industry, because I was wishing that I had something at that time.
Okay. What's F? When you say FNDY, what does that mean?
New York Fire Department.
Oh, okay. See, he just, you know. So finish telling us.
Some of our bigger clients are FDNY, NYPD, hospitals, different unions, schools. I was saying it earlier with you off the podcast, is I think 8 out of 10 people don't even know these benefits exist. Me and Hortense's job is really just to educate the consumer, to let them know they have options. Don't wait till you need it to educate yourself. These are one of the things where you have to be proactive and get it in advance. The younger you are, the cheaper it is, and your health always qualifies you.
Ah, so with your benefits, do I have to take any type of physical or anything like that to be able to qualify?
So most companies a lot of times do blood work, cotton swabs, and they look into your medical records. Through the business aspect, there really is no underwriting. So if you're a business owner, and let's say you have 20 employees, some of them may have diabetes and they can't get life insurance, but through the job, because it's in a group setting, they are able to get it at that point. So one of the great benefits is a lot of people are accustomed not to be able to get these benefits, but through the job, it's cheaper and it's a lot more easy to get the benefits.
Okay, so you said to me that people, if they have diabetes, they can't get insurance?
Sometimes with disability, the hospital plans, the cancer critical or life insurance, they will either deny you or what is called rate you, which means they'll charge you extra to get the policy.
Oh, but
when you get it through the job, they don't care because they're doing it in a group setting. So it's advantageous to get it through the job as well.
Okay, now answer a question. Say if I leave that job, okay, or I get terminated, does the policy come with me?
Our policies are portable, which means if you leave the job, you are grandfathered in.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And for all you romantic people out there, it covers spouses as well. So a lot of times through the job, you may have the benefits, but your wife needs the life insurance. So extend to spouses and family members.
Okay, and what about the children?
Yep, to children as well.
Oh, okay. So now say if it's not a government city job and I'm just a regular corporation, how does that work? How do I get you to come in and help us with this for my employees?
Here's the best part, Miss Sharon. As long as there's 3 employees and one person signs up, it's considered the group rate. So this covers mom and pop shops. That's really the niche of our business, and the fabric of our business is the community. People that typically don't get these benefits because they don't work for a corporation. So whether you're a small mom and pop shop, you have 100 employees, it doesn't matter. We cover everyone across the board.
Oh, wow. So mom and pop sit down and talk with y'all, and y'all come up with something for everybody in the company, and you offer it to them.
Correct, yeah. Typically with jobs, the reason why owners love it is because we educate them, we bring in food, we give them the options of the coverage. If it's something they want to take advantage of, it's free. If not, they got information to use for the future.
Okay. So when you come in, do y'all offer cancer, accidents, you do whole life. There's another one, critical. You offer all of that?
Same exact portfolio, Miss Sharon. So to kind of break it down in layman's terms, disability is paid sick days. Life insurance protects your family. God forbid you pass away. Cancer critical care pays you a lump sum of money if you get diagnosed with heart attack, stroke, cancer, organ failure, multiple sclerosis, coma. You have to ask yourself, those are major things that unfortunately will take people out of work for a prolonged period of time.
Okay.
How are you going to financially be prepared for that? So like Hortense said, and you said multiple times, is you don't want to have financial burden when you're going through a tough time. It could really acerbate the situation. And these are very inexpensive stuff. One of the questions that most people ask right away is, what's the price? It's very financially feasible. It could be as cheap as $10 a month. Our accident plan is $2 per week. So this is very inexpensive products as well.
Okay. That's
And the
good
best
to
part
know.
is that we do all year enrollment. It's not, we don't have a season where we say, oh, this season is enrollment season. We do enrollment.
Okay. So y'all
And
do
the
all.
Sharon, the word I was looking for with the whole life is it's called an automatic premium loan. It's built in the policy. So that's why your policy wouldn't run out if you are in disability, and the premiums, the company will make sure your premiums are paid until you return to work.
Okay. Now, Keith mentioned something about if you have sick days. So Keith, what about if I don't have sick days on the job?
Exactly. So that, to me, is the most important product if I had to put something on the pedestal. The average employee gets 5 to 7 paid sick days annually. Now, let's realistically think about this. Flu, your sick days are gone. You have a bad back, sciatica nerve. So we pay from day one that you can't work up to 5 years of your salary. So this is something, whether you have something small all the way on the other side of the scale, like something serious. So this is something that is beyond prevalent because the common thread is people don't get a lot of paid sick days, unfortunately.
I didn't hear you, Keith. Keith, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that.
Unfortunately, the average person only gets 5 to 7 paid sick days.
Right.
So this is something that could pay you from the first day that you can't work under a doctor's note up to 5 years of your salary.
Oh, okay. That's good information. That is.
Yeah. One of the saddest stats I've ever heard through the company is that 8 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and they can't afford to be out more than a couple weeks at most. So that could be very damaging to a lot of situations. So the disability, to me, could protect everything: your income, your car, your mortgage, your rent, your food, your groceries, your laundry. So that, to me, is the most important thing, is the income protected with disability.
Got you. Okay. Now, how else does combined insurance help the business owner?
So I hope you're sitting down for this one, Sharon. This is the best part. It doesn't cost the business owner anything. They're just a vessel to offer the benefits to their employees, and the employees get to pay it at a discounted rate. It really helps owners with hiring and retaining. Unfortunately, since the pandemic, a lot of people work remotely. Secondly, it boosts the morale. Third, most importantly, when it's through the business, we're one of the only companies we add on, which is called a college tuition program. For every employee that works for the company for a year that offers the benefits, gets 2,000 points, which is the equivalent of $1 towards any college tuition for kids and grandkids.
Oh, for kids and grandkids.
Correct?
Now,
And that costs the business nothing and the employees nothing. It's called the free add-on from our company.
well, thank you very much. Wow. I didn't know that. Hortense, I didn't know that. Yeah.
One of the things that's awesome, and most people, this is the biggest misconception, everyone heard of Aflac.
Yeah.
But Chubb is actually much bigger than Aflac. We're a Fortune 500 company, and we're number one with P&C. So everyone heard of Aflac. So we are basically Aflac on steroids. We do the same exact thing. So that sometimes really, people are like, oh, I heard of Aflac. So it's very similar.
I can't hear you, Keith. We missed that. Yes, we can hear you now.
Yep, so we're very similar to Aflac. We're actually a little bit bigger. Our coverage is more robust, and we have much more liberal underwriting. For example, a gentleman had a stint within a year ago, and he had high blood pressure, and they were able to get him $250,000 of whole life, no medical exam. And normally that's a big no-no. So these are important questions that you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I hope, most importantly, people are taking this serious, because this to me isn't just a conversation. It's something that you really have to plan for. Our benefits are month to month, so you can get rid of them at any point, which is a bonus as well.
Okay. Now, I'm going to throw something back at Hortense. Hortense,
Yeah.
can I insure, because he said something that made me look, can I insure my grandbabies if I wanted to?
Yeah, you could give your grandbaby a gift. You can get I call it grandparent gifting on a are you talking about life insurance?
Life insurance, anything. What can
Yeah,
I give
if you're taking care, let's say you want to get a sickness benefit or an accident benefit, as long as
Mhm.
you're the sole caretaker for your grandchild, you can definitely add the grandchild on there. But for the life insurance, you could do what's called grandparent gifting, to gift the whole life to your grandchild,
Mhm.
so it goes with them.
Okay, and they will keep it until
They'll
forever.
keep it they'll keep it until, say, they reach age 18. They can become their own, owner, their own payer, stuff like that.
Okay.
The smartest thing Miss Sharon, grandparents and parents do for their kids is they get life insurance as their kids.
Mhm.
So by the time they're 18, it's accumulated this cash value that they could use for college, books, dormitories. Plus, you're locking in that premium at a fraction of the price. So if there's
And-
one thing I can tell you, the best thing for parents and grandparents to do is
Mhm.
get that whole life policy when they're young.
For the young,
Okay.
yep. Yep.
Now, answer another question. Say the grandparent puts the grandchild on as the beneficiary.
Mhm.
So what age would she get it if grandma demises before she's 21?
That's a sticky one in New York State. Legally, if you're 18 and under, you can't collect the money, so it just kind of be in limbo until they're 18.
Mm-hmm.
So every situation is different. You're allowed a contingent beneficiary, so you're allowed to choose two people. I'm not the biggest fan of grandchildren getting it, because $200 million in the United States last year, life insurance beneficiaries didn't collect their money because they didn't know they were the beneficiary
Yep.
or what company to get it through. So
That's a
grandchildren
biggie.
gets lost in the connection.
That's a big
Oh.
one.
Now, answer question. Can I put it in a trust for them?
That's the right way to do it, or have a will where you could kind of say, give them $10,000 a year for however long, or whatever their amount is. Yes, a trust or a will protect them.
Okay. And so if I put it in a trust or a will, can their parents take their money?
No, it all depends on how you want to allow it.
Oh.
You have the policy and you're making the grandchildren the beneficiary,
Mm-hmm.
right in the will that their parents can't touch it, then they can't touch it.
Oh, okay.
What a lot of people don't know with life insurance, and this is horrible, but sometimes your bills go to the next of kin. Those medical bills, sometimes if you want to sell the house, there's back taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So life insurance just isn't for funeral expense. A lot of people don't know that. Say your parents leave you the house, you may have to pay those back taxes before you could even sell it. So life insurance has a lot of financial benefits, unfortunately, during a tough time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. So trust, we got that. Um, what else I want to ask you? Oh my goodness. Now, okay, so we talked about there's another insurance that y'all have. Oh, Hortense,
Yes.
there's another insurance that y'all have. That y'all,
The hospital plan,
The income protection.
no,
the
no,
life insurance.
there you go. The hospital. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Talk to me about that one, Keith.
Okay, absolutely. So if you go to a hospital or an urgent care for any reason, on or off the job, they pay you for over 20 benefits. Something as simple as the emergency room,
Mm-hmm.
annual physical, ICU, hospital confinement, physical therapy, follow-up visits, certain stuff like that. So basically, God forbid, anyone in the family goes to the hospital, they pay you depending on what occurred. A lot of it is preemptive care. If you go to physical therapy, they give you $25 per visit. Annual physical, pap smear, mammograms, they give you $50 per person annual. One of the reasons why this is a great family plan for all you parents out there, I played sports my whole life. So there's a lot of broken bones, fractures. Is your job high risk? Are you a plumber? Are you on ladders? Do you travel? Do you go skiing? This plan is so inexpensive that I think every family should have it. I won't get into the stats, but statistically, if you have a family, people unfortunately will go to the emergency room, break bones, annual physical. It covers certain dental procedures. This is our most robust plan by far.
Okay, so the hospitalization covers almost everything. That's what you're saying.
Almost everything. And Sharon, all people have to remember is COVID. When we were the hot spot in New York, we
Mm-hmm.
had so many claims because I've been doing this for a long time. And when I go to people, I try to make sure they get the best package to suit
Mm-hmm.
their needs. So, and I never leave the sickness benefit out. So just think about during COVID, people are being hospitalized. People were accumulating. I had one guy collected $96,000
You're kidding me.
free, and you do not get a 1099 from our company at the end of the year because he was in a hospital for a long time. Right?
Wow.
I had clients that were dying, and you also have to have a beneficiary, even though it's a sickness benefit plan, because when the person pass away, if they're in the hospital and they pass away, somebody needs to collect that money, right? So wives were collecting money. I see people collected money that they could use off the sickness benefit to bury their family members even before they got life insurance. That's how much money they were collecting. Because the
Okay.
ICU, think about being in ICU, like nobody wants to be there, but people were there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's $1,415 per day because once you escalate to ICU, the payment goes up daily.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about that, people were getting that kind of money from combined. I mean, it was just crazy. Like we were in the hot spot, and I had Keith and I help one of my client who is a physician assistant got paid 3 years after her husband was shot on vacation, right, Keith? And she was so distraught. She forgot that she have the life insurance with us.
Oh
And
wow.
Keith and I helped her to get paid. And because it was an accident, it was an accidental death, they doubled the benefit that she got. So
Mm.
we're just talking to you about from our heart because we're in it and we're seeing what we do every day to help people.
Yeah. Now answer a question. Does the policy rate ever go up on a person, or does it just stay the same?
The
Nope.
premiums basically are set. It's just that if something happens like in New York State and you know they want the company there we call it like a revamp, then the company will adjust rates accordingly. And but they won't just do it like that. They'll send out a notice to the customers. Like just recently with COVID, because of all the death claims and the disability claims, I think they had a little bit of a hike on the disability, but it's not much. It's not. They're not going to do anything to take the to let their customers, you know, leave them.
Okay, so basically, if it wasn't for COVID, they wouldn't have
It's
increased the
but it's
rate.
only on certain products. The products that they paid out the most on, that's what
Hmm.
they did.
Okay,
You
so
know,
any
sickness
product
and
that they,
accident and cancer and critical care basically just stays the same.
okay, so your rate will never go up. It's
No, unless it's like I said, unless there's a necessity and it has to do with New York State and the company. Because remember, our company is licensed in New York State by the New York State Department of Financial Services.
okay.
So
Now how
anything
many?
they don't approve can't happen.
Okay, so now how many states have combined insurance?
We're in all the states in the United States and 54 countries outside of the USA. That's how we're able to cover people outside when they travel. And remember, COVID was also not confined to the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the think about all those countries that were sending in claims, and Chicago, our head office is in Chicago, so that's a
Hmm.
central point. So all the claims from everywhere was coming into the United States for
Okay.
processing.
Now, what countries are y'all affiliated with out of New York? I mean, out of the United States.
Out
Just
of
give
the,
me
I
some.
know that we're in New Zealand, we're in Canada, we're in the United Kingdom, we're in Australia, we were in Ireland, but I'm not quite sure if they're still there. But it's outside of the U.S. They'll say CHUBB, because Chubb
Okay.
is combined.
Okay.
But
So,
it's 54 countries outside of the U.S. But I know our neighboring state country Canada, and then across the pond the UK.
okay. So, out of the United
But
States,
it
if
doesn't matter where people travel. People could travel anywhere. And if
mhm,
something happened, I've had people go on cruises. And you know, when you go on the cruise and they stop and they try different foods when the ship docks somewhere and they
mhm,
get food poison and they go on the hospital on the ship and they get treated, they can
mhm.
still bring those. And I'm telling you, Sharon, these things I'm saying to you is it's for real. It's what happened.
I know. No, but what I'm saying is this: um,
Mm.
out of United States, combined insurance is known as combined insurance Chubbs.
We're a Chubb company. We're a Chubb. Yeah, you will see our logo. It says
Hmm.
Combined Insurance, a Chubb company. Right, Keith?
Okay,
Hmm.
Key, correct? Cor-
Yes, Miss Sharon, I actually wanted to throw out something that just came to me. Our benefits also have a great synergy. So, say you have this hospital plan that Hortense has been talking about, and
Uh-huh.
I have the disability as well. Let's just say I'm in the hospital confined. The hospital plan pays me, and my disability is paying me simultaneously while I'm missing work. So a lot of our plans work in conjunction with each other. Let's say I have the cancer and the disability. God forbid I get cancer, I would be getting paid for both of them. So a lot of these plans work in conjunction with each other.
Okay. Now, what happens when a person gets workman compensation for their from their job? Can they still put their claim in with combined insurance?
Yeah, they could
Every
still claim
claim
from
is
us,
different, but
even if it's a work, because our indemnity parts will pay them. And we have a sick day policy that pays right along with workers' comp.
Okay, so it wouldn't interfere if I'm getting workman's
No, it wouldn't
compensation.
prevent them from getting it. The income protection. Like there are certain people that will say they never collected workers' comp. They don't know, they don't get workers' comp, and so
Right.
there's a part that would factor in with their premium, so they'll collect everything from us. But
Mm-hmm.
then there, like I said, we have the sick pay that pay for sick days that
Mm-hmm.
will also pay them along with workers' comp if it's a workers' comp injury. But
Oh,
but most injuries doesn't really happen at work. It could be going to work, it could be going home from work, or it could be, just simply out and about and something
mm,
happens.
yeah,
But
because
if but we have everything to fit the needs. Just put it that way.
okay, all right. Now, so you can still get. Someone had asked that question. So yes, you can still get your workman's comp and your and um
Disability.
and your disability.
Correct. Yeah, workman's comp, unfortunately, in New York State is around $400. It could barely pay anyone's bill, unfortunately, living in New York. And workman's comp only covers on-the-job injuries. So if you get hurt off, you don't get anything. So unfortunately, what happens if you're independent, you're a hairstylist, you're a barber, you're not even getting that workman's comp. So this disability covers you 100% across the board. So it's not even just people with workman's comp, it's also people without workman's comp as well that can use it.
Oh, okay, all right.
So
So
that opens a whole new door to a lot of people that are independent as well.
yes, because I am an independent, and like I said, I'm quite happy. Okay, so yeah. So now, do y'all offer home and auto insurance? Somebody
No, we
asked
don't.
that. You don't? Okay. Now,
Yeah, we don't.
I see that y'all have a dental plan now.
It's called a value added product. Once
Okay.
somebody's a customer, then it's not us per se, the agents, but they have their department that calls to offer the customers the dental part. We call it a value added product. And I think
Oh,
they offer auto roadside assistant too, doing with value added. But that's not from us, the agent. That wouldn't be from me as a senior account executive, and it would be from Keith. We wouldn't cover it. But Chubb has that part.
oh. So say that again
But you
because you
don't
cut
get the
out.
call unless you're a client. Unless you're a customer, you don't get the call because it's a very discounted rate. Because some of my clients told me they pay like $11 a month, $12 a month.
For the dental.
Yes.
Now, do you know what that covers? What does the dental cover?
I think they use it for like it offsets whatever costs that their medical doesn't pick up. That
Mm,
one offsets it. That I don't have that one myself, but the clients because I'm a Chubb employee, so I get my dental through them, but I don't have that value added part. Even though I'm
oh,
also an agent, but I'm a client too. I'm a customer, but they already give me good dental, so they didn't offer me that.
oh, okay, all right. Now, say if someone says, you know what, they're looking for something a job.
Uh-huh.
How can they become a combined insurance agent?
They could reach out to Keith, man. The Keith Sandman Sands. He's an agency leader.
So Keith, so you sign up all the agents, Keith?
They call me the insurance whisperer. Yes, I do.
So, how would people contact you to work with in combined insurance? And what do people have to go through to become an insurance agent?
So one of the best things about the insurance industry is exactly what you said, that you're independent. We're all our own boss. You get to run your own company with no overhead. We provide all the tools you need to be successful. Everyone across the board that works with me in Hortense come from a different endeavor. But we all came for the financial income, the unlimited income, the opportunity to travel. To answer your question, you just got to get licensed. That's all you really got to do. As far as the insurance industry, I worked for multiple firms, and we have the best systems and structures by far. Our go-to-market strategy, which I want to touch on as well for you business owners, people that work in churches or different school events, we donate a lot of money to different stuff in the community just to educate people so they can allocate it however they want. So if you go to church out there, temple, PTA, sports events, associations, we're part of the Heart Foundation, the Cancer Society. We love donating as well. But all you have to do is to get licensed to work with the company, which we pay for the course for them to do it.
Wow. So, so you'll also
So
pay.
study, retain, and pass the exam because you have two parts. You have the life part and you have the health part.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then you
Truth be told, Miss Sharon, you normally have to pay it on your own, which could be north of $300. Our company picks up the fee for them.
Oh, okay. I like that. Might have to come and open with y'all.
You'll be a superstar, Miss Sharon. No doubt about that.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So
Then you wouldn't need us on the podcast anymore.
say what? Yes, I
Then
would.
you wouldn't need us on the podcast anymore.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
Sharon, as
Gee.
long you like helping people, Sharon, it's a satisfaction when you help somebody, especially in their time of needs.
Yes,
They're
yes, yes,
paying for something, but the most important part is when you need it, it's there. But when you need the help to get you the money, your agent is there to help you. Again, customer service, customer relation, it's the best part.
yes. Now somebody asked, is all of this a tax write-off?
It's
From a business owner's
absolutely.
perspective, yes.
Key could answer that part for the workers comp, but like not workers comp for the work uh part of it, the
Mm-hmm.
employer part. But for our, like I mentioned before, when you get paid from Combine, you do not get a 1099, so you don't have to worry about that part because you're paying from your own personal money that was already taxed. So
Oh,
they're not taxing you.
okay.
If it's not
But
a payroll deduction, it's your own check-in and money.
okay. But now, Keith, you said if you're a business owner, it is. Say it again now.
Yep, for business owner's perspective, you can use it as a write-off, and with Hortense, to piggyback, when we pay out clients, it's tax-free. They don't have to pay any taxes on any of the benefits.
I like tax-free. Lord knows
Who
I
doesn't?
like. But guys, our time is almost up. I don't want you to
I
go, but
know.
I'm going to talk with my
I hope we're able to give you as much information as possible for the audience out there. But
Oh
and
yes.
you have my number, my contact number. If anybody want to reach out for one-on-one, I could do
Um,
that.
I did. I have it scrolling across the screen here. It's I have a banner ad that has your name on it, and Keith, I do apologize for not putting your name on there. Um, so can you give everybody your number so that they can get in contact with you if they want to become an agent or anything like that?
Absolutely. My direct number is 516-857-4448. Now, if you're looking for a job, you're a business owner, you're an individual, I implore you, education is free. Trust me, I'll make you laugh and I'll give you all the tools you need to be successful to make an informative decision. If there's one thing to take away from this podcast, just educate yourself. Call Hortense, get some literature. We appreciate you, Miss Sharon. Thank you so much for the time.
Sweetheart, it was my pleasure, and that's the least I can do for Combined Insurance, who has been taking care of me in my time of need. Okay? So, with that,
Thank you.
thank you so much. With that, ladies and gentlemen, the Sharon Gaulman Experience is now over. And again, I want to thank Ms. Hortense and Mr. Keith for coming in here, educating us, letting us know that we can get a job there, that we can get good insurance. And it's best when you do invest in yourself. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being
Bye.
here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay. Take care.
Have a blessed evening.
You too, baby. Thank you.